This piece of legislation is going to make America the crypto capital of the world.
The crypto market is in the early stages of one of the largest bull runs in crypto history.
Using the state-of-the-art crypto technology, this could be perhaps the greatest revolution in financial technology since the birth of the internet itself. Who would have thought we would have been saying that?
With now the United States, the largest financial market on earth, about to buy Bitcoin.
We've stated publicly that Bitcoin is digital gold. We believe it's in the best interest of the United States to garner as much as we can possibly get.
And tokenizing the traditional financial system.
Today, I'm announcing the launch of Project Crypto to enable America's financial markets to move on-chain.
With the upcoming Clarity Act, one of the biggest catalysts for crypto.
We do believe the bill will be passed within the next 60 days. And this is further clarification. The Genius Act gave us clarity on stablecoins. This new bill will give us clarity on much more within the general world of crypto.
A catalyst so impactful, it may have generational effects.
And again provides the rules that the traditional finance industry, banks, insurance companies, credit card companies, as well as the Fortune 500 generally, need to know that they're able to engage in this marketplace. They know what they're allowed to do, how they're allowed to do it, how they have to disclose it and report it and pay taxes on it. And this is going to unleash the burdens that have kept everybody out of the marketplace. The result of all this, Talia, you're going to see hundreds of millions, probably hundreds of billions of dollars, perhaps even trillions of dollars flowing into Bitcoin and other digital assets.
But what crypto coins have the biggest growth potential? And how would I invest $1,000 into crypto into 2026 to get rich?
And since all of these coins operate on a supply-demand issue, just like any other asset, we're anticipating this is going to be the beginning of a major source of inflows and price increases over the next several years.
Be sure to click subscribe to Altcoin Daily for an edge investing in crypto, because as these specific coins get new updates, make big news, Altcoin Daily makes one video per day, keeping you informed. And the first coin, and my biggest holding, and there's a reason this coin is my biggest holding, is Bitcoin. You are not too late. Bitcoin is digital gold. I would put $400 out of my $1,000 immediately into Bitcoin, 40%. And there's a reason. Bitcoin is going much, much, much higher than $109,000, $120,000, $140,000 per coin, in my opinion. By the way, I am not a financial advisor. I'm only speaking from me, my journey, what I'm doing. But just looking at the data, businesses are absorbing Bitcoin at 4x the rate than it's currently being mined, meaning that there's only this many Bitcoin being mined into existence each day, and on average, there's 4 times the amount being bought each day by Bitcoin treasury companies, conventional businesses, funds and ETFs, governments. Not that we can't dip lower day to day, but over time, price has to go up. CIO of Bitwise, Matt Hogan, perfectly explains what's happening.
So last year, ETFs bought 500,000 Bitcoin. Again, remember, the Bitcoin network only produced 165,000 Bitcoin. So it bought 3 times the total supply. Corporations bought 250,000 Bitcoin. Governments, I think this year could buy a couple 100,000 Bitcoin. So I think if you look at those 3 sources, I think they'll buy more than 1 million Bitcoin this year. And where is it going to come from? The only place it can come from is people who already hold Bitcoin. The only way they will sell is if the price goes up. That's why I'm so bullish on them.
And just look what happened when the gold ETF was approved in 2004 for the very first time ever. The gold price essentially went up only for the next 9 years. Yes, there were corrections along the way, that's healthy, but gold could be purchased in an ETF wrapper for the very first time in history, and the demand from Wall Street and average people was insatiable. The Bitcoin ETF got approved in 2024 for the very first time in history. We've had 1.5 years of up, meaning it's like we're right here. You do not want to tell your grandkids that you are watching Altcoin Daily and you lived through one of the biggest technological money revolutions in history, an evolution of money, and you did not accumulate your piece of digital gold So $400 of my $1,000 goes directly into Bitcoin. My next $200 goes directly into Ethereum. If Bitcoin is digital, decentralized gold, then Ethereum is a decentralized app store, meaning you can build on it. Stablecoins, decentralized games. Ethereum is, based on the numbers, the world's most trusted blockchain for digital assets. Again, just look at the data. It has, on average, over 15 million daily transactions. It has the most stablecoins built on them. And in this exclusive clip, I know we just shared with you a piece of this the other day, but this video just makes me want to own Ethereum.
Ethereum differs from Bitcoin. Actually, Ethereum was initially a fork of Bitcoin, by the way, but with an added feature, which is smart contracts. So what they wanted to do on Ethereum was to say, let's use blockchain technology not just to store value, but now to store information. Ethereum is as a smart contract platform, actually also has something called the EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine. So you can run entire programs and conditional contracts on Ethereum. And Ethereum itself is 100% reliable. It has not had a single moment of downtime since inception. It's one of the few blockchains that has never been down. And then if you needed to do more things on Ethereum, you can build what they call layer 2s on top of it. So Ethereum is essentially infrastructure that now is catching the attention of two industries. The first is the financial sector. The stable coins became really viral, a breakaway product for crypto. And that's like the ChatGPT moment. You know, there's $250 billion worth of stable coins. The vast majority of those are minted on Ethereum. Then the Genius Act was passed by this administration and this Congress, and that greenlighted the proliferation of stable coins onto the blockchain. So banks are now building stablecoin products. That Treasury Secretary Besant thinks that could get to $4 trillion. That's exponential growth, burning gas on Ethereum. And then we have Project Crypto, which is the SEC building, wanting Wall Street to build on the blockchain. Now, all that collectively, from a Wall Street perspective, is like 1971 for the dollar. And what I mean by that is, in 1971, the dollar went off the gold standard. So in 1971, the dollar became synthetic. And gold was what people bought as a hedge against that synthetic dollar. So you had gold as the trade, and that would be the Bitcoin equivalent. But actually, the synthetic dollar is what created the rails for Wall Street to build all their future products. The futures, curves, derivatives were all because the dollar was a synthetic product. If the dollar was backed by gold, Wall Street would be still a very small business. Well, Wall Street now is going to be building its entire infrastructure onto the blockchain. And the blockchain they're choosing is Ethereum. So this is the 1971 moment where Wall Street is essentially capitalizing on tokenizing the entire world onto a blockchain. That's a huge opportunity.
So $400 out of $1,000 into Bitcoin, $200 into Ethereum. My next $100 for me goes into Solana. What's interesting is while Solana is also a smart contract platform, meaning it's an Ethereum competitor, Solana transactions are cheaper, they're faster, and they're a better user experience, sort of like the Apple of blockchains. And while Ethereum is dominating in stablecoins, there's no question, Solana is leading the charge and dominating in tokenizing real-world assets. The total value of tokenized real-world assets, meaning real assets, RWAs, on Solana has surpassed 500 million, a new all-time high. Also, in this resurfaced clip, the crypto czar of the United States, David Sachs, works with Trump. Before he got appointed crypto czar, explains that all his buddies in Silicon Valley are rooting for Solana, although he had to divest.
It's an Ethereum competitor, basically, for a smart contract platform. And there's a lot of people, I'd say smart money in Silicon Valley, who are betting on a flippening where Solana could ultimately overtake Ethereum as the preferred platform.
And again, if you want to stay up to date on all the coins mentioned in today's video, click subscribe. The minute any of these coins make fundamental big news, I will make a video, I will report to you, and this gives you an edge as an investor because you stay in the know. So in my $1,000 crypto portfolio, I have $400 into Bitcoin, $200 into Ethereum, $100 into Solana, and now I have $300 remaining. And this is where it gets fun. By the way, anybody looking to buy, sell, or trade any of these coins, I want to recommend exchange partner Weex. Often the smaller coins are not found on the bigger exchanges. So for me, Weex, you'd go over to markets or you'd go over to futures to trade. This is where also you can see all the charts. But we go over to markets and you see all the different coins offered. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, tons and tons of coins offered. And for a limited time, if you're trading crypto, use code Altcoin and get a 100% position airdrop. Meaning if you put in $500, they give you $500 to trade in a position airdrop. Link down below. So I have $300 left. This is where I choose to invest in higher risk altcoins, which are also potentially higher reward, but also with money I'm willing to lose. With my final $300, I will take $200, and invest in a basket of either made in America or blue chip DeFi altcoins. So coins that fit those trends, because I like to invest in trends, and made in America and DeFi, huge trends into 2026. XRP has huge potential into 2026. It's used by the banking system.
Okay, so Ripple actually was the second largest coin prior to the SEC's investigation of them. They did this really weird lawsuit against them, and basically the Ripple's going to be the track that everything's going to be running on in the future. So they created their own stable coin right now. Okay. And Bank of America, like I said, they were doing 100% of their internal transactions.
Chainlink as well hits the Made in America trend, hits the DeFi trend. Chainlink is working with many layer ones, meaning who knows if Ethereum or Solana or Avalanche will win. Chainlink is working with all of them.
Chainlink is DeFi infrastructure. Chainlink is the set of standards and the infrastructure and services that allow you to build reliable stable coins, that allow you to move those stable coins reliably across chains.
Also, Cardano hits this trend. They are unlocking Bitcoin DeFi, which will be huge.
On the other hand, they give us massive competitive advantages when you look at Bitcoin DeFi, because now Bitcoin wants to do DeFi, and it's a lot easier to write UTXO smart contracts on Cardano than it is to write those on Ethereum or Solana.
Also, Hyperliquid hits the DeFi trend.
Over the last 2 years, we've spent a lot of time looking at the exchanges and coins. We've had many opportunities, and the first one that we've really responded to was Hyperliquid and Hype. Both David and I spent a lot of time looking into not just the coin, but the exchange, the advantages it has, and it is like we came away absolutely gobsmacked that there was so little attention.
Ondo also hitting two major trends, Made in America one, tokenization, and DeFi another. They are working with BlackRock. They are backed by Coinbase. If you believe tokenization is only getting bigger, you want to look at Ondo. So again, $200 would go into Made in America coins / DeFi coins. And then my final $100, I would get super speculative. I would take a big risk. I'd look at Ethereum Layer 2s. Cody is the only Ethereum Layer 2 focused on privacy. I'd invest in AI. BitTensor is the blue chip AI altcoin. Do not sleep on it. I'm an ambassador to Supra. This is like a Solana or a SWI killer. Highly speculative, but high risk, high reward. Comment down below which coin you have the most belief in, how you would allocate $1,000 in crypto. Let's all check the comment section together. And as a special bonus for only Altcoin Daily audience members that stayed to the end, anybody trading crypto claim over $100,000 in stablecoins worth of newbie benefits for you. This is a professional exchange trying to incentivize you, if you use referral code Altcoin Daily, to trade with them. And they're offering you up to $100,000 to do it. This will not last forever. It's a limited time. I'll put a link down below. And like always, see you tomorrow.